this project to say, with this tsunami of curriculum change that's coming, because it is, and it's not going to be there just for 1 year, but it'll be there for the next 6-7 years, what can we do on a microscopic level here in this school, working together as 2 schools, what can we do in this project that some new learnings for ourselves and for other schools in terms of how to approach this curriculum change. And if arising out of this is developing curricular leaders, we also make some small impact in our own classrooms, because ultimately that's what it's all about, the impact, bringing the curriculum to life in the classrooms. They're the 2 win-wins from this project. I mentioned about partnerships at the very top. This is what we're doing now, collaboration between schools. There's a recognition in Teaching Council that teachers are the best place to support each other. And this project is bringing that to life. Attracta does that on a daily basis. Teacher supports a newly qualified teacher. Now we've two sets of teachers, expertise from 2 schools coming together to support one another. And look at the one on pedagogy, so we'll be focusing on pedagogy obviously in this project, because pedagogy is what brings to life the curriculum in our school. And then finally, look at the engagement and participation, because it's not just about teacher agency, but it's about child agency. And through playfulness and through maths talk, to what extent can we bring together the child's voice and the child's developing their positive disposition to maths. And to that extent, let's look at some of the recommendations. And these recommendations are based on what you've said from your experience of taking part in the PLC.
And we found those online meetings very useful, because we had that sharing of good practice and sharing of ideas, and then we were able to go back to our own classes.
I think that really worked at the start. I found towards the end it was quite hard because we were doing, there was lots of things. There was lots of, St. Patrick's Day, there was loads going on. That timing aspect kind of affected us towards the end, I think.
Small little bit.
And also, I know the medals took place during the school day, but that half an hour, it only happened every 2 to 3 weeks. But it was so invaluable. Do you know what I mean? So in the long term, it is beneficial. I don't know about using Croke Park hours or curriculum days, because then you'd have to align with the other school, and it could be a bit.
We have to be realistic about how schools run too.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it.
Would it be true to say that your teacher agency was positively reinforced by the very fact that the school created these spaces for you to meet with other teachers and make decisions?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I think it helped as well on the first date that it was explicitly explained or kind of just explored what we meant by the word agency. And then when it kind of was made clear, well, it's really that you make a professional judgment and then that gives you the confidence to say, well, okay, I can take that back into my own classroom.
But also for the senior leaders in the school to step back and let you lead it, because quite often it'll fall on, let's say, the principal to go, okay, we have a new initiative coming, or this is a new curriculum, now do it, whereas you do it your way.
I think having listened to the teachers here today, sharing their stories and the journey that they've taken, that you could not only take confidence from it, the trust that it's given them, the hearing that the teacher agency has developed, and most importantly, across the spectrum, the impact that is having through the lens of maths, in this case, this PLC, the positive impact it's had on children's learning. So as a school leader, I want now to use this as a platform going forward to begin to develop with my colleagues what shape and form the PLC might take within our school and across our school after the Teaching Council Feilte project is finished, because the benefits of it are too enormous to leave it to one side and say, well, that was just an event, let's move back to what we traditionally did.
We took maths talk, we took playfulness, and we need to get those right. And that's how I think we need to look at the model for breaking down the new curriculum and the framework in terms of taking something, doing it right before we move on to the next thing, and taking our time with it, rather than trying to do everything. We spoke about this earlier, something being a mile wide and an inch deep. We need to take time, embed it, and when it's embedded, we move on to the next thing.
I think what's been really good is just the openness and the honesty. I think people are coming in a very open way to say what's working, what's not working, the fears, the anxieties, because we all bring our own experiences, our own identities to the table, and when we're asked to change, it threatens us, and that's across the board. But I think the community that you've formed seems to give you the confidence to move forward, to work through those tensions and anxieties that you're feeling, and to come out stronger the far side, and to maybe adapt some of your practices, but also to bed down and realise what we're doing is really valuable. We're not going to change everything here, that what we're doing is good, and there's a rationale behind it. The why question has come up a few times today. Why are we doing things? And I think the space and the time this PLC has gives you a chance to think about why you're doing particular things, to articulate your professional judgments around it, so that you think very deeply around what it is you're doing, and maybe why you continue doing it or why you change from it. It's important that all of these discussions are also being aggregated at that national level and feeding into the bigger policy picture as well. So while they make a huge difference here and in the local, they are really important that the system hears the voices of people who are in classrooms all of the time, and all of the complexities and tensions that come with it. So it's making a big difference here, but it's also feeding in very naturally into the bigger picture process.